Let's be honest. We've all had that fleeting thought. What would I actually do in an emergency? Well, today, we're going to replace that question mark with a simple, clear plan. We're skipping all the complicated jargon and focusing on the handful of steps that can empower you to be the person who makes a real difference.
So picture it. You're just driving along and bam, it happens right in front of you. A car crash. Your heart probably jumps into your throat, your mind starts racing. What do? Who needs help first? It's a massive moment for sure, but having a plan is the one thing that will keep you from freezing up.
Okay, before we go one step further, this right here is the absolute golden rule. You have to burn this into your brain. It might feel wrong, but think about it. You are no help to anyone if you get hurt too. Rushing into a dangerous situation just means the paramedics have one more person to worry about. So, with that golden rule front and center, our very first move is to just take a breath and assess. This isn't about wasting time, it's about being smart. Those first 5 seconds are for looking, not for leaping.
This is it. This is the entire game plan, and it's super easy to remember. 1. Assess the scene. 2. Make the area safe. 3. Give critical aid. That's your mental checklist for any crisis. So let's break down that first step, shall we?
Here's a little pro tip for you. First responders call this the windshield survey, or the first look. It's that super fast 5-second scan you do, maybe even before you get out of your own car. It's all about getting the big picture before you get tunnel vision on one detail. And a huge part of that survey is understanding something called the mechanism of injury, or MOI. Don't let the fancy term fool you. It just means, how did this happen? Was it a head-on collision? That tells you to look for chest and head injuries. Was someone thrown from a vehicle? That changes everything. Understanding the MOI helps you guess what injuries might be hiding, so you don't just focus on the most obvious wound. So in those first few seconds, what are you looking for? 3 main things. First, hazards. I'm talking fire, leaking gas, other cars still flying down the road, downed power lines, anything that could hurt you. Second, how many people are involved? 1? 5? And third, what can you see from a distance? This is all vital info.
All right, on to step 2. You've looked around, you know what the dangers are. The next job is to try and control them. This is where you switch from looking to doing, making the whole area safer for you, for any bystanders, and of course, for the injured.
And a lot of the time, this is actually pretty simple stuff. We're talking about things like reaching in and turning off the ignition of a crashed car so it doesn't catch fire. Maybe putting a car in park so it doesn't roll. Now, if the scene is just too dangerous, your job is simple. Stay back, keep others back, and tell the pros what's going on when they arrive.
Now this is a really, really critical decision. So listen up. The default rule is you do not move an injured person, ever. Especially in a car crash, where neck and spinal injuries are super common. The only time you break that rule is if leaving them there is an even bigger, more immediate threat to their life. We're talking the car's on fire, the water is rising, you get the idea. Okay, you've assessed the scene, you've made it as safe as you possibly can. Now, and only now, do we get to step 3, giving aid. And look, nobody expects you to be a brain surgeon here. Your goal is just to handle the stuff that can kill someone in the next few minutes, and that's it. This is where you buy them time until the ambulance gets there. And the tool for that is something called the primary survey. It's a quick ABC check. A for airway, can they breathe? Is anything blocking it? B for breathing, are they actually breathing? And C for circulation, are they bleeding, like a lot? You find a problem with A, B, or C, and that's what you focus on.
You know how emergencies can get chaotic with everyone standing around? You can fix that. Don't just yell, "Somebody call 911." It doesn't work. You point. You make eye contact. You, in the blue shirt, call 911 right now. Give people specific, direct, simple jobs. You turn the chaos into an organized team. It's incredibly powerful.
So there you have it. Assess, make safe, give aid. That's the framework. Now let's just quickly run through a couple of specific scenarios to see how this simple plan works in the real world. First up, the one we keep coming back to, a traffic accident. Probably one of the most common and frankly most dangerous situations you could walk into. So you see, for a car crash, that make safe step is huge. Use your own car as a shield, get those hazard lights blinking. Anything you can do to warn oncoming traffic is critical. And remember that rule, always, always assume there could be a neck or spinal injury so you don't move them unless you absolutely have to. Okay, next up, fire. With a fire, the whole situation can change in a split second, which means our priorities have to change too.
See, with a fire, your first job isn't giving aid, it's getting people out. Warn everyone. Evacuate. Pull the fire alarm. And I'll say this once, never, ever go into a building that's filled with smoke. The smoke and toxic fumes will get you long before the fire does. It's just not worth the risk.
And finally, let's talk about the invisible killer, electricity. This one requires a whole different level of respect and caution.
I want you to look at this number and burn it into your memory. 20 yards. If you see downed high-voltage power lines, you need to stay at least 20 yards away. That's like the length of 2 school buses end to end. Electricity can travel through the wet ground, so that distance is absolutely not a suggestion. It's a rule for survival.
And here's the biggest mistake people make. I'm going to be really clear. Never touch a person who is still in contact with an electrical source. Don't do it. The electricity will flow right through them and into you. The only safe moves are to turn the power off at the breaker box, if and only if you know it's safe to do so, or to just stay far back and let the professionals handle it.
So after all that, after all those different dangers, you can see how it all comes back to the same simple, powerful plan. Let's just lock it in one more time. Here it is again. Step 1, assess the scene for dangers. Step 2, do what you can to make it safe. And step 3, only then do you give that critical, life-saving first aid. This is your action plan. This is what will guide you when everything feels like chaos. You know, in an emergency, most people freeze up. Not because they don't care, but because they just don't know what to do. But you're not most people anymore. You have a framework. You have a plan. So the question isn't what would you do? It's are you ready to be the one who steps up and does it?